Man, y'all saw it right there. XWW, their next pay-per-view experience, Love, Hate, Tragedy will be coming to you on the 26th. That is going to be a fantastic show.
It's going to be a hype show. I don't know if you caught that, but looks like it's going to be a hell of a banger, man. It's going to be an awesome show. I'm excited for that one. We do have the card for that. Eventually, we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it right before that show. So, guys,
Yeah,
welcome to the show. It is time for the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight, and I am your host, The Saint. With me, as always, my main
Daven
guy,
Estacado. That's right. The one and
That is
only
right.
El Cadejo here live with the Saints for Indie Spotlight. I'm hype. I'm hype. I'm always hype.
dude. It's been a hype week of professional wrestling out there as well.
It has been. It has been.
There's so much going on. You've got so many people right now are clamoring about all these promos that are taking place and all the storylines unfolding on TV. And I'm like, y'all, that's all well and good. You need to be focused on some of the stuff that's coming out here in the indie scene because there's so much going on in our indie scene, especially in our little slice of heaven that we have here.
Yeah, we say it every week, man. It's the mecca of wrestling, and there's promote wrestling after wrestling after wrestling, different flavors, different styles. And if you're not watching the Indie Spotlight, you're going to miss on quite a few good shows that are coming up this weekend and the next throughout the month.
Oh yeah, we've got this month, we've got next month, we've got months booked out. But that's just kind of what we do.
Yeah, we try to keep busy.
Speaking of people chiming in, Gary Benfield, promoter from High Velocity Wrestling, has joined the show. How you doing this evening, sir? Man, we just talking about what's going down the pipeline everywhere we are. So we trying to get everything going out there.
Yep.
This is the fake community? No, this is the real one.
Yeah, we're
this
real.
Is the real wrestling community. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, guy. But no, I do got something I got to bring up. Dude.
What's up?
So, I did this on purpose because I kind of wanted to see where people were mentally on things. Mm-hmm. So, I wanted to see what would happen if I said this. Bets on the indies, we have to protect kayfabe, but the TV wrestling stars sit there and go, fuck you. So, that was kind of my thing. I just wanted to see what people had to say and kind of where they sat on this. And I got comments from promoters. I got comments from people in the industry. I got comments from fans. I got comments everywhere for that meme.
I saw you. I saw it. I'm like, oh man, this man's already causing controversy.
Well, hey, look, Eric Bischoff taught me very well that controversy creates cash. Okay.
True.
100%.
No lie. It controversy creates cash and sells tickets.
Yep. Brandon Lamb said, I only recognize 3 of them. Get that mess out of here. Man, look, Brandon, here's the thing. Just because you only recognize 3 of them doesn't mean the rest of the people out there didn't recognize 3 of them. There was at least 4 or 5 people on that are television wrestling stars. The point wasn't really that I give a shit one direction or the other. The point of it was just to see where people stuck their flag at today. Because in case you don't know, that line moves as to what they say is okay. And then Gary Benfield chimed in, unless you're a diehard wrestling fan, you wouldn't know him. He's right. One comment on the main post of that was, I don't see any TV stars. And I'm like, well, that's kind of one way to look at it. I get what you're saying. Oh, he was saying, get that mess out of here as far as the fake community comment. Oh, I appreciate that.
Well, you know what they say, sarcasm doesn't translate well.
It's all good. And
I can't say.
Look at this. Who are y'all working with? WWE, AEW, or UFU? Well, predominantly it's just FU, not UFU. But I mean, so this is the indie spotlight. See, indie. This is independent wrestling. We're doing independent wrestling tonight. Now, if you want to see the other one, other one is Sunday, and that's when I cover, the the WWE's, the AEW's, the Impact, and the NWA news. Who am I working with? I don't know who I'm working with or who I'm working for. I'm working with Daven.
I,
I'm working with
I work
Daven.
with him, and I'm not allowed to say because who knows it's down the pipeline for me. So you might see me on those programs soon. We'll see.
I
I'm
work
putting
for
it
all
out
these
there.
guys.
You
At a
know, yeah,
minimum, I work for all these companies and more. But
I mean, are
uh,
you even in the Carolinas, Hermano? Like, do you realize you're in like the hub world of what independent wrestling, just professional wrestling, where kind of got its start here, Senor Manuel. I'm just saying, like the
another
mecca of wrestling.
another company we work with is another one that we definitely bring up pretty consistently is XWW Extreme
WWE.
World Wrestling, which you can get access to all their content. We're live on Roku right now as we speak. So
So
your
smart.
Roku TV is out there. So there's Extreme TV online. You can go there. You can find the app. You can get the app and check it out. They cover all kinds of stuff. AML, future stars of AML. They have all their original content. You got Pro Wrestling Savage. They have Firestar Pro Wrestling. They have Fortitude Wrestling Entertainment. A bunch of podcasts, including both of mine, and more. There's a ton of content out there on XWW. Be sure you go check them out. He said, I'm on WXW. Okay. I'm not sure. Is that what is WXW?
We'll
I'm
have
not
to
sure what
look it up.
WXW is. Dude, but if you Google WXW, do you know how many wrestling promotions are going to pop up?
Yeah,
How can you start what? How can you start being in independent wrestling? Well, first and foremost, find a credible training facility. That's step one. And you got to pay for good training. If you're in the Carolinas area, go check out Lodi. Go check out, Team Fearless down there. You've got Palmetto down in the low country. You've got, or Midlands, I guess, Columbia. You've got, uh, man, I can see his name or I can see his face. Can't think of his name. Help me out. George South. You
George.
got
Of
George
course, you
South.
got George South. You got LeBron Cozone. Of course, you got the guys over at AML. Hell,
Yep. Firestar has a training facility.
Firestar. Go Team Firestar. Home Firestar.
You've got there's a dude in Greenville too, and isn't that Austin Idol? I think it's Austin Idol's up
I
here.
think so.
Yeah, and then God knows how many there is in Georgia.
They're all over the place. Just pick one.
Yeah,
Plus, you got Boogie School. The Boogie Woogie
yeah,
Man has his own school.
yeah. Jimmy Valiant School. Yeah, dude, there's tons of them locally. So if you're trying to get into professional wrestling, just Google wrestling school near you, and you will find places. And if you don't know who's decent or not, do me a favor, send it to us, and we'll tell you who, if we were in your area, who we'd go see.
That's
If
good.
you're
Yeah.
if you're unsure, ask somebody in the industry, and they'll tell you, "Hey, yeah, don't go near that guy, or don't go near that place," or "Hey, I would start here."
Yeah.
What's better, AEW or WWE? Well,
That's more of a question for Sunday. I can't say who's better. Like it's different flavors of ice cream.
yeah, it is. Wrestling's subjective, man. But I
Very.
mean, if you want, how do you look at it? Do you look at it as an entertainment spectacle, or do you look at it as matches that don't make sense? Uh, so you gotta try to you gotta pick and choose your battles on that one, man. But either way, bro,
I digress.
yes, busy, busy couple weeks.
Hmm.
So I know you've got some stuff coming up. I know we've got some stuff coming, but
Always.
we also have a guest that we need to talk to tonight.
Yeah, we're trying to get them on. In the meantime, we'll just get into it, and if they come on, they come on. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Cards subject
Well,
change.
Manuel, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I'm a WWE guy. Been a WWE guy since day one. Man, look, this Friday night, tomorrow night,
Mañana.
you could go catch a free wrestling show, and it's going to be badass because it's going to be at Lenny Boy Brewing live in Charlotte, North Carolina tomorrow night. This is free. It's a
and
TV taping.
that's WW. Good
And
old boy, our boy Manny is really been using up the venue here at Lenny Boys, man.
yes, and he's been kicking ass. They had that show the last time I went out. I went out for the last TV taping, just as a fan to sit and consume wrestling with the family. I sat there and enjoyed myself. Even I had little kids, and we were in a brewery. I didn't tell them it was a bar room until we were about an hour into the drive. But because it's a solid 90 minutes for me to get there. So
Really?
yeah, it's a solid hour and 15, hour and a half.
Huh. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's about an hour and a half. You're right. It's about right. But it's a
Yeah.
great venue, great place. It's
Oh yeah.
over 300 people can go and be jammed in there, drinks
Dude,
and going on. It's crazy. I
they
love
had
bar
to
shows.
they had to open up the doors and let them, or they were bringing in chairs and stools and freaking benches and all this shit from outside just to fit bodies to sit on because it was
Nice.
standing room only. We were there an hour early, and I grabbed a table in the back because I was like, I don't really want to be too close to the ring and too close to. I got the kids and stuff. I was just trying to be comfortable. So we did. We took one of the back sections, and we can still see great. There ain't a bad seat in the house. Bar shows is what's up. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a fun show.
All right, you got
Very
food. You got food there. You got alcohol. I mean, it's great. You got beer. Great drinks, and they got
yeah.
candy.
So Cody Gibbs, snapshot. He is a photographer in the region. He chimed in. He's in the chat, and Gary Benfield said, "Hey, what's up to him?" Manuel asked, "When is the chamber match? The Elimination Chamber is this Saturday. Tune in to my Sunday show. We'll talk all about it Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk all about the Elimination Chamber on Sunday." Man, so but that's this coming weekend. Then the following weekend, yes, Gary,
Yeah,
I
you guys
promise
had
you, I'm gonna get to
six,
this.
six of the bar
We
shows.
talk about it every week. We talk about the 6 bar shows coming up every week, and we've been talking about it for a damn month.
Yeah, we want to
Good
make
grief.
sure that people don't miss out on it because the bar shows are probably some of the best fun shows we've done so far.
Oh yeah, dude. Any type of outdoor venues are fun. Bar shows are fun. I like just different stuff. If you haven't had a chance to do it, I'm gonna tell you where you need to go, and that's AWL, the Welford Pavilion. You got to check this place out before the year is out. There's really not a better shot than to do it on March the 4th either, because it's a free show. They want everybody to see what they're cooking down there.
And the
At
venue's
Welford.
pretty nice looking. They got a nice looking stage. It man, they really upped the production value on that one.
Oh, dude, it is awesome. I'm gonna tell you one thing. It is a worthwhile trip to check it out. Uh, but we'll get to that more in just a minute. Are we still waiting on our next guy?
Yeah, we're still waiting on the guest. Once he gets in, I send him the link. So once he comes
Well,
on, he'll come on. But I'd say we just go on with the show until he gets the program here.
gotcha. Well, check this out. Speaking of AWL, here's a video, and I hope you guys can hear the videos out there. I'm not 100% sure, uh, but here's where I'm at with this. We're trying to bring in videos. I'm trying to get the promoters and the companies to send them to me directly so that way I can unleash them here, and they have great video quality and great audio quality, and everything's delivered perfectly, as you'll see with one of the videos I'm going to share later in the show. However, this is a video that was just unleashed within the last couple of days. A lot of people haven't seen it, so let's take a look.
No sound. I know that guy, and I know that guy. That's the Rolls Royce of wrestling. It looks like he's sending a message, but I can't hear it.
Well,
We couldn't hear
no,
any of that. We had some technical difficulties. Uh,
listen, listen. I'm gonna tell
give,
y'all.
give me one more.
There's that's prime example. That is prime example of why I need the promoters to send me the videos for these things, so that way I can have sound on them. So yeah, I know the video has. I figured the video had no sound, but I wanted to be sure that I could at least get it out there in some way, shape, or form. Either way, I'll cover that show that's coming up shortly. Uh, y'all know MJF? No, I don't know MJF. Do you think Cody will beat Roman? Yes. Uh, and I'm sorry about been away. Hey, it's all good, man. I understand. Trust me. Everybody's busy. I will give you a call this weekend. Definitely need to catch up. You know as well as I do. Payback's a bitch. You're welcome. Hey, look. I don't know a damn thing, Bub. You're saying all kinds of things. I know that Jacob is your boy, and that's cool, but I can only do so much. I can just show you what was done there. I can't say anything. I can just show you what happened, and that's what happened. All right. Well, I was given what in the hell?
Just having some technical difficulties, but it looks like our
Oh,
guest will be coming on shortly. I'm back.
oh, right on. Let's see here. Well, Gavin's going to go ahead and send me some of the videos from AWL, so that's cool.
Fantastic.
What's up with Chris Jericho? He's 52 years old and wrestling his ass off. That's the post.
Dude's a workhorse. And
yeah, he is.
Man, does he know how to reinvent himself every single time and still make it work?
Now, this video here caused a bit of controversy. I'm going to go ahead and grab it while we're waiting on our buddy here.
All right, go ahead.
And we're just going to go right into it.
March the 4th, the AWL heavyweight title match. And guess what? Your boy, the big black cat, Deion Johnson's not even in it. I threw my name in the hat, but you know what they told me? Oh, you're too old. You're too old. Well, it's 2023, AWL. I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to be the best of who I am. And confidentially, for those who don't like it, I don't give a damn. Thank you for letting me be myself.
So, apparently, Black Cat Deion Johnson is pissed. There's been a lot of stuff going on with him, and now all of a sudden, he's pissed off. He was overlooked. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, Black Cat Deion Johnson is one half of the legendary tag team, the Soul Patrol, and the dude feels slighted. So I get
it, man. I mean, how you could be on the poster and not have a match? That's just
right.
I guess it's kind of rude. I guess in his eyes. I'm surprised you didn't do the whole thing. Soul Patrol. You gotta, have some soul in it. You know what I mean? Do the tag team some justice.
I've been their announcer. I've done it more than enough, my brother. I promise you this. But check this out. Here's the correct video with the audio this time. They actually, the promotions are sending me these. So here we go.
We are in the day of the life of indie superstar Jake Jacobs. Jake, where are you performing next?
Let's see. That'll be March 4th. I'll be with the American Wrestling League. It'll be a
Bro, what?
Yes,
What?
Sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Who's that, Reno Royce?
Focus that camera, baby.
Come on now. Don't.
March 4th, Jake Jacobs will not be performing. He will be fighting for his damn life.
Yo, somebody, come on, man. Is there anybody in the parking lot?
This can't be the Jake Jacobs they were telling me about.
gonna bow when I whip him. All of you, I know you got him. I know you got him, Dick. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you. How great I am.
Damn it, boy. I've told y'all since they bet on Brino. Because, look, here's the wallet. Look, bucket. Here's the keys. There's 3 car keys on here. The house keys here. Bet on Brino.
You're betting it all on Brino, huh?
Yeah, man.
All right.
I know to bet on Brino because I've watched him grow and develop over the last year and a half into somebody that the indie scene has not seen before. They have not seen somebody like this in a very long time. When you go back and you look at Kay Holiday versus Brino Royce and realize that the ref had to stop the fight because Kay Holiday had been bludgeoned unconscious by blows to the back of the head, you don't see ref stoppage real often in indies. You don't see ref stoppage real often, period, in wrestling.
No. I mean, it was a savage. It's like, it's like a new Royce. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been showing that tenacity. He's been showing that he's hungry. This is a statement that he's making. And I don't think Jake Jacobs is ready for it. That was kind of brutal. He got him in the Mushi finger hold and almost wrenched his arm off there.
Oh, dude, he tore his ass up. Look, and Scott Larson chiming in because Scott Larson was over here, calling Brino a thug, and he was talking all this smack about Brino because he essentially concussed Kay Holiday out of his mind. I mean, he laid him out. That was at High Velocity Wrestling last year. Dude, he beat the brakes off that dude. And Kay Holiday is one of the top indie performers in the region. That dude got worked.
So here's my question, and just for Scott Larson, you don't think that this is just kind of plays into, it's a tactic. Royce is playing the psychology game. He's trying to get into Jake Jacobs' head. He's trying to get ahead of him. I think it's a sound strategy.
Well,
I mean, is it clean? No. Is it dirty? Some might say that. But he's in the mindset that, like, he's going to do whatever it takes to get the win here.
Right. Now, we just got to
kind of have to admire it.
Yeah, man. There's a lot going on. Check this out. We got another video come in.
Welford, March 4th. Shut your mouths, geese. Shut your mouths. March 4th, Luka Daniels returns to Welford, going one-on-one with that worthless piece of crap Jackson Sane. And not only do I have to face Jackson Sane that night, but AWL management decided that they'll throw me into the heavyweight championship tournament, which is a travesty. You expect me to face that monster of a man and then go on for the heavyweight title? Well, guess what? Luka Daniels doesn't care about nothing. Luka Daniels is going to come out on top. So March 4th, be there and watch me win the heavyweight title and destroy Jackson Sane.
Man, Luka's fired up. So the way it works for this main event is there are 9 guys trying to get down to 5. One person's a lock. So you got one person who's going to be fresh as hell going into that match. You have 4 others that are all going to have to work to get into the main event.
Yep.
So you're going to go to 5. It's going to be a fatal 5-way elimination. And in the end, one person walks out holding that piece of gold. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I've had the belt in my hand. I've held the title in my hands. It's heavy and it's pretty. It is absolutely stunning.
It's pretty shiny. I've seen it. You showed
me. Dude, it doesn't do it justice till you put hands on it. I'm telling you what I know, bro. It does nothing until you put hands on the damn thing. Because it's going to look great around, I'm still saying I'm keeping my pick alive with that one. It's going to look great around the waist of that man. That's how it is. Well, it's going to look great around anybody's waist.
Oh, so you
no
still
doubt about
so
it.
your number one pick is still going to be the Rolls Royce of wrestling, Brito.
Oh,
You
dude,
take him.
he's been my pick since day one,
All right.
and you damn
Well,
right. I'm keeping my
Scar
pick.
Larson, I got to give it to Scar Larson. He at least gives it this. Brito is a great all around wrestler. Loves his skills, but not his tactics. All right. What's your take on Luka Daniels there, Scott? Coming back, this would be a great opportunity for him to kind of come. What a comeback! What a way to come back and come back and get the gold here and prove that he belongs here, and that he's ready for the gold.
I mean, just just one more thing to make sure everybody realizes what we're talking about. We are talking about this AWL heavyweight title.
Look at that, beautiful. That's nice.
Beltmaker did a fantastic job. The designer did great. I mean, this thing is sweet. But our guest for the evening has arrived, so
He sure has.
here we go.
Let's let him in. Bring him in.
Testing one,
Hey
two,
man,
three.
welcome to the show.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can y'all
It's
hear me?
we can hear you.
Ah,
How you doing
Here
this
we
evening?
go.
I'm doing good. What do I own this pleasure to be on this podcast?
Well,
Well,
you're the indie king. We tried to have you last week. Unfortunately, things happen. You know how it is. Card subject change, technical difficulties. You were training. We did mention that you were out of state. You were training, so there must have been some issues with the time frame. But we're glad to have you back. We just want to talk about you and your plans coming up in March. Saint, anything on your end that you would like to chime in on there?
hey man, well, hey look, I fully get card subject to change. I mean, hell, we all understand how the road works and how you gotta make your rounds. Uh, welcome to the show. Here's how we do this. We don't do scripts, we don't do itineraries, we don't do planned anything. Everything's off the cuff. So as real as you are is as real as we want you to be here.
Live and raw with Daven and Saint.
That's right.
That's how it is.
Brandon, where you are. That's get to the point then.
All right. So the reason why we wanted to have you on for last weekend and this weekend, you have a big matchup coming up. You've been, as I said earlier, you've been training. I want to talk a little bit about that. You went out of state to training. You're training others in the craft, but how is your head going in the next just a few, but wow, less than 36 days? You have a 5-way elimination match with 4 other competitors for the premier inaugural show for Integrity Championship uh,
Entertainment.
Entertainment. What's going on?
Here's the honest truth. There's nothing going in my head. I was training myself as I'm the only one in this match that has asthma, so I'm already in a handicap. All right. When you put yourself in a predicament like I am right now, because on the behalf of integrity, they reached out to all 5 of us. Obviously, they believe in all 5 of us to put on as Tim would say, a banger of a match. But here's the quick sum of everything. Each person in this match has held championships. Chris Bay is held championships. TDT is congratulates just won another championship. Diego Hill, if I'm not mistaken, my little brother is holding a championship. And if I'm not mistaken, Tim is also holding in the longest reigning championship at another company. So as I. See, I don't go on social media like they do and promote what they have done or speak about it. I show up and I do it because I am the king. The king don't need exposure like that. The king just got to show the why he's the king. Now, recently, I have seen a couple promos that kind of irritated me, but I'm not going to speak on that until y'all are ready. So let's go on with some of these questions, these hard hitting questions, these live questions that y'all want to feel how I am.
All right. So, how long have you been in independent professional wrestling?
15 years.
15 years. So, you're a pretty traveled and seasoned vet. Uh, where did you get your start, man? Where'd you make your bones? Who was your trainer?
I had two of them actually. First, I started off with the WCW, the Maestro. When he got done with me putting me in the oven, he sent me out to Colorado to train underneath the other legend, Pat Tanaka. So I have in this business some of the hard hitting old school vets. So when it comes down to certain things, I'm going to think just like my mentors did.
All right. Now,
Uh,
in 15 years, that's a lot of time, and that's a lot of running the roads, traveling, and promotions. Uh, who would you say have been some of your most notable opponents in that time?
My most noticeable, sorry, speech impediment. My most honorable opponents are names that's been signed. And I do not want to come up here and drop those names for people to think that the king need name dropping just to get himself over. But if y'all insist to know who my best opponents were, one is 2016 Cedric Alexander and notable 2013 and 14 Cameron Grimes.
it was great.
Very nice. Two
Uh,
dudes currently tearing it up on TV, and you've mixed it up with them.
Yes.
I would say that those experiences kind of give him an advantage, don't you think, in this matchup? Like, you've wrestled almost every single one of those competitors that are coming up in this five-way elimination. Am I correct in saying that?
You're correct.
All
Not
right.
only I have wrestled, except one, and that is Chris Bay, but I have did a little bit of promo training with him at his school.
Okay. So how do you feel knowing that your little brother, you call as you so call him, is now going to be a competitor here? I mean, you obviously know each other's work. You wrestled along each other. You wrestled against each other. Is there anything that you see coming that you're preparing yourself for, knowing that you're going to go? He's going to be like one of the main, probably the main. I want to say wild card here in this matchup.
Yes, he is the wild card. He Diego, he's wild, but he's also unpredictable with his craft. I have trained with him many a days, many a nights, hitting a road, and every time we have done something, there's always been something make him stand out that made sure that he was hungry for the business. And I feel like at any moment when he strikes, he's going to strike hard. So I got to be ready for that. But I'm not too worried about him.
Well, who are you worried about?
To be truthful, the king is honestly worried about the infamous man, Tim. Because not most people know, even with me being in this business long, he was the first one that actually encouraged me to travel with him on the road. I was honestly at the time scared to travel on the road. I knew at the time I was kind of the hot thing in North Carolina, but I didn't think I could make a big wave outside of the states, really, other than Colorado. And with his evolution, his strictly evolution of who he is, y'all think that the 360 spine buster is deadly and unique. This man, Tim, can do unique stuff with the blink of an eye.
I've seen it. Uh, I've worked a show with Tim before in the past. I think he's the only beside I've been in attendance, I think, for Diego Hill. I don't think I've ever worked with Diego Hill. But I have seen TIM perform in person, and it is you got that right when you say an evolution. Uh, I mean, we throw out predictions on a lot of stuff that we cover,
Yeah,
and
we sure do.
in this case, TIM when he was on air and explaining what was what his go to was, his regimen and everything else he was getting down with. TIM, the Infinite Man, was the inspiring man because he inspired me. And at that point, I picked TIM to be the survivor of this fatal five way y'all got coming up.
Yeah, he said in his own words that he will manifest the fact that he will walk away holding the gold.
But let's be real about this. If you want to go by track records and you want to go by experience and multi-man matches, I excel it. I pick my moments and I always win. I haven't lost a multi-man match. So he can manifest as much as he wants in this type of matchup. I'm always going to have the answers. It could be 5 minutes, 3 minutes. If you want to bump it up to, poop and giggles, 7, it doesn't matter. I excel in multi-man matches because I know there's one goal, is to win. And all you have to do is let everybody do the dirty work. As a king, you let the peasants fight on the beyond themselves because that crumb of bread is going to disappear and they're going to get hungry again. And that's when you strike. It's how you take empires. It's how you take kingdoms.
So what you're
Right.
saying is by the end of this matchup is going to be a new reign, and Indy King is going to be king for Ice Championship Wrestling.
I have
Okay.
more integrity in my right pinky than the other 4. I love my brother to death, but let's not only talk about those 2. Let's talk about the others 2.
You got TDT.
Yeah, you got the Gate City Guardian and Chris Bay. I mean,
Also been there observing when TDT started out with the black singlet, and evolution in different gears, and evolution in his style. Even watching him become a Zone 1 champion if you go back. That's how far back I go with T. I've seen his evolution in ways. I've seen the gold that he's captured. Now, the Bullet Club member himself, the finesser himself, I have seen him also hit amazing milestones. I've seen him verse when Lucha Underground, Luchasaurus, and put on an amazing show. He might have came up short in, but he gave it his all. But now we fast forward now, he's doing amazing work. But here's again from my studies. I used to high fly just like them. And every time you high fly, you take a risk and gamble. Diego already know that. You leave your feet with me, I catch you and you land on your head. So if Mr. Chris Bay decided to go for the finesse, I'm going to finesse him out of his own move and drop him on his head. Now T, yeah, I benched 300, so I think I can get Tim up. Not Tim, my bad. T up for the spine buster, but he's not likely to fall for that, and he might catch me off guard.
You made a good point here. A lot of these competitors, this matchup, they're known for some speed, a high flying action. Even TDT, even with that physique, the guy could go. Is known for that frog splash, and the guy got some airtime on it too.
You want to talk about his flaws, but have you, when you see him live, when the first time you see him live, not at a bar, not at a school, not outside, but when you see him in a almost a storage unit where the roof is low, where I'm still able to high five, but he takes out a group of guys and flip, like I mean, perfect flip, like you almost thought he was Jeff Hardy fan over the top rope without touching it. That's when you start getting worried. But he got heart, but the heart can only go as far as the body lets it.
Yeah, I was just about to say he was out for injury, but you got to give it to him. Ever since he's been back, he's been on a roll since he came back, and yeah, just like you just mentioned, just won another championship. My question is, are you guys ready? Because you got to know, the Zenith might make their appearance there. Any worry about maybe Ben Grayson making his appearance, or anybody else from the Zenith to help out TDT? It might become a numbers game at that point.
Okay, if we would go to the numbers game, for me being the ambassador of XQ brand, you should know that's multiple people. If we want to go by the numbers game, um, I just recently seen that Radical City Kings are on the card.
Yeah.
Do you know one half of Radical City Kings is X Crew? So if you want to go by numbers game, there's two right there. And you never know who could be in the crowd. It could be more ambassadors. It could be
Yeah.
more members. But they don't have to help me because there's two other people that's also representing the ambassador group. The Infant Man Tim and the Don Bar Diego. They might not want to help me and help them.
So you got where those loyalties lie. Yeah, actually, I was going to be my follow up question was going to be, now I see that you're wearing the shirt, you're wearing the X Crew brand shirt. Anybody, and you just kind of mentioned it, you kind of answered my question before I even asked it. Anybody from X Crew brand that might be coming in your corner or coming to the show that might be a another variable in this matchup. And that's one thing I love about these kind of matchups. There's always variables. There's always something that might come along and add some spice to it.
You're right. This is really show the loyalty yet. Because gosh, I'm not the Infant Man Tim, we go back and forth. We go way back. When he was ringside when I versed Cedric. Then we also go back 2 weeks ago when we had a 6-man matchup and he told me he wasn't available. So I reached out and got two other people I had in my corner thinking I stacked the deck. My brother Diego Hill, one half of High Def, also one half of All Star High Machines. I think that's how they pronounce it. Then I also had Mr. Future Star, could be soon champion, I hope, in the making, Baby Lotion. But guess who kind of just disappointed me, and this is what kind of draws me into this match. I stand across the ring and I see the same person that helped me get my feet wet in different areas and also stood on my side when I versed big people with the Infinite Man TIM. So I have to question a lot of his motive. I understand this is a big match. This is for the Integrity Championship. This is a big payday. This is showing you're on top of the world. New company they're bringing out bangers left and right, as he would say. They got a stacked card of how they got. They even, for me, scroll on the page, I just recently seen, like today, the Gorilla Squad is going to be there.
Yep.
I seen the Dynasty pictures up there.
You know that's gonna be a matchup. Dynasty versus Gorilla Squad. I mean, that's just has shenanigans and like as you've been saying all this entire night so far, banger on it. Just certified fire match right there. Any predictions for any of the other matches that are showing up on the card? You just mentioned the Gorilla Squad.
But you have to think about this in Gorilla Squad. You said Gorilla Squad versus the Dynasty.
Yeah.
There's 5 members, from what I noticed. And if the wrong members versus the Dynasty is going to whoop their asses. But if it's the seasoned vets, the old gray Gorilla and the Squad, then the Dynasty might have a problem. And you know what? Let me see something real quick, because the King always has access to stuff. Let me pull out another phone. Let's go to this page. Let's
King
see
is always ready.
Let's see what we can find. Because you bring up a good point. What's my prediction? I'd go up there. I might share a little stuff, say I approve on stuff, but I haven't really paid attention, and I might need to, because these might be people I step in the ring and process things. So let's see what we got going on. While I pull that up, y'all got any more questions for me?
Man, that location that you guys have chosen, that Integrity has chosen, that is Jacksonville, North Carolina, correct?
Yeah.
That's where this is taking place? Okay. So that's on the coast, for anybody who doesn't know. It's on the coastal Carolina side of this. And I don't know too much about that area. I haven't frequented that area. So, as somebody who would be traveling a great distance to be there, what can I expect out of this venue?
This is the venue, and this is honestly it's funny. As I was training with the maestro, this venue put a fire in my training. That's where I met Shelton Benjamin, Tommy Dreamer, Christopher Daniels, Mickey James, and other, at the time, top star of the North Carolina scene. And this was about 13 years ago. And I stood in the line and I said these words to Shelton Benjamin. And I think it was funny. Because I was just starting with the Ambassador Extrude. I said Extrude. At the time, I was known as JJD. I said versus Shelton Benjamin. All he could do is look at me and smile and laugh. And he said these words to me, and there's a reason why I have this pep in my step. Kid, you're not going to make it.
No.
And that was the time I realized I have something to prove.
Oof. Man, there's a lot of people out there with a lot to prove too. And, for those of y'all watching live on Roku, thanks for joining us. And just to let you know, if you have comments that you want to see seen on TV, all you gotta do is send them in on one of the social media platforms. Check this out right here. Independent wrestler Max Carnage just chimed in saying hello. Brandon Ledford said something about Brino Royce being a cheater and a chicken. He calls timeout in his matches. There's no timeout in wrestling. Listen, that's called strategy. If you've never played a game of chess, checkers don't count. This ain't Connect 4. You're talking chess, you got to play the long game.
And then there's 3D chess, which, even longer game. But yeah, I mean, whatever you could have to do to get psychologically in your opponent's head. If they're understand there's no timeouts, and then there's a timeout. Sometimes you need your protein break. I had to take a timeout in the middle of a match just to make a sandwich at one point because you don't want to miss out on the gains in the middle of a match. It happens.
Yeah. There's no timeouts in ring announcing though. There's that.
Or commentary.
Yeah, or commentary.
I had the heads up reach out to me for that. We're gonna have a great commentary team there for the show. I'm excited for it. I was gonna ask, how'd you feel when the heads up, whoever the big hef is in charge, let you know, hey, you're in this matchup. We want you in for the main event. That's main event right there.
Let me be honest with you about that. I was on vacation. I was just chilling. I wasn't taking much bookings. I was just rehabilitating my ankles, spending time with the prince, my son, and they reached out saying, look, first, the numbers wasn't there. But when they said the location and the possibility of the attendance of having 1,000 people and then only standing room, only attending, then I saw the biggest picture. I seen an empire going to build. And I had to say yes. Now, did they tell me what match I was going to get into? No. That was not told me. So I would come into perspective of seeing a good upcoming show, beating the life out of a peasant, and then walking away with a good check. Now I have to deal with 4 others in one match for the beautiful. I want to see what it looked like, but the beautiful ICE Championship.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I like that name. I like that name, Ice. I really do like that. I think it's unique, it's different, it's new.
I like it, and it's also integrity, and that's what
Yes.
the indie wrestling has been missing, apparently, according to the King. Integrity, good old
It is.
integrity.
It is. It has been a misintegrity, and then he touched on something earlier as well. He mentioned loyalty. Now, earlier this week, I shared a post about loyalty. I'm one of those people who's very loyal, and I do my best to always be respectful as well. Loyalty isn't goals. Loyalty's standard. That's what it's about. And respect should be reciprocated.
Agreed. I think with this show, it just goes to show that the hires up and the King themselves have a higher standard, and they're trying to start a new reign when it comes to wrestling in the area, and they're really showing off already that they have a really nice card so far, a stat card, and just a talent that they have. They're going to be showcasing. It's going to be a great show. I'm excited for it.
I'm way more excited because now, little bro, TDT, Tim, you watching this? It's go time. We've been in this business long enough. We have crossed paths. We have teamed up. But it's go time. You're going to see why I'm self-proclaimed called the Indie King JT. And y'all will bow down to me.
Damn.
Wow. I got chills. I got tingles. I mean, what better? I was gonna ask another question, but I can't after that. That was promo material. We have to clip that later.
Most definitely. You have access.
I was gonna say anything else you want to say, but I think that pretty much just sums it up. Anything you want to let the fans know about this show? Anything you want to drop? Any nuggets?
says go follow these two on social media, no matter what platform it is. And it could be the Japanese TikTok. You can go follow it on YouTube Kids, because this is for everybody to see, because this is mostly PG, but we keep it real. So follow them, both of them.
This is not PG. This is not PG.
Not at all.
It's PG because peasants love kingdoms. So it's PG. And you know the grind that y'all are doing, it's there. So the peasant got to grind to see the kings. And y'all have established yourself in the king level. So they're going to have to follow y'all regardless. One way or another. All platform across. Because I said so, and y'all made it clear that they need to be following y'all. That's all I'm going to say.
You hear that? You hear that, wrestling internet? We're royalty now.
Yeah.
I dub thee badass. Straight from the Indie King. I love it.
Yeah, straight from the. I mean, I was already sainted, but now I've been anointed. I've been knighted now. That's even more badass. It don't get much better than that.
No, that was dope. That made my night.
March 18th, doors open at 6:30. Showtime 7 o'clock. I promise y'all, be there. Because from what I just seen on their poster, they doing canned goods too. Bring in some canned goods, peasants, so other peasants can eat in this world. Donate your hard work and come see everybody perform here and watch a new king get crowned, the ICE champion.
It's gonna be one hell of a show, man.
Yeah, you just
that being
up.
The royalty of the king has left the building.
Damn.
He
didn't even go backstage. My man completely out.
He's gone. This is the show he's talking about. That's the main event right there. Wow. He graced us with his presence there.
He damn sure did. Man, we got to recalibrate. So real quick, before we move on to the next segment, we're going to go ahead and roll one film for y'all, and we'll be right back.
$2,200 Whitmire Highway in Union, South Carolina. Pro Wrestling Union returns as it kicks off 2023 in a huge way as it presents Undisputed. General admission tickets at only $10. All student tickets at $5. It's the best value for great professional wrestling in the upstate. A portion of the proceeds will directly impact the school-wide initiatives of Sims Middle School. You do not want to miss out on this family-friendly, action-packed, professional wrestling excitement. Come check out the stars of Pro Wrestling Union, such as current tag team champions, the Heat Seekers, Black Cat Deion Johnson, Peterbilt, #1 Cam Jackson, and in the main event, Linear Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Champion Chase Emery will be facing the interim heavyweight champion, the top dog of the industry, Bebop, in an undisputed heavyweight championship match. Once again, that is Saturday, March 11th at Sims Middle School, 2200 Whitmire Highway. Pro Wrestling Union, Undisputed.
Damn it, boy.
Man, I'm hyped.
Dude,
that was great.
It was fantastic. We've had look at what we've had already tonight. We've had some funny shit. We've had some controversial shit. We're going to have some more funny shit because we're about to hit that next level. We're going to break into something new, and this is called social media gold. Now, yeah, man, he didn't even give us a goodbye. He didn't even give us a goodbye.
I'm out. I'm out. He just mic dropped and left. That was great. And we got knighted. That I'm gonna call myself a lord. Lord Daven Estacado from now on.
There's nothing wrong with that. I've been trying to figure out this a couple of other things to do in this program because you know that you can screenshot stuff on your screen and it's called a snippet.
Yeah.
So what I've been trying to figure out how to get snippets to appear for the show. Mm-hmm. Because what I've been doing is I've been going through and saving these images from social media that I think are fucking hilarious. And I'm like, dude, I got to use these. These are going to be great. So I've been trying to figure out, since we've been sitting in here, how to load snippets to the damn screen. I got no clue. Got any ideas?
I told you it was Google Slides. You just put them in a slide and we'll just the slide. Come on, man.
Well, that's still, you got to find the snippet. You still got to find the snippet to put in there.
The snippet.
But either way, what I found that I thought was social media gold this week actually came from a professional wrestler by the name of Garrett Sinclair. Goes by First Class Garrett Sinclair. Earlier this week, or might have been last week, he made a post on Facebook. Go check it out. You'll find it. It's freaking hilarious. And here's what this post said. This post said, as soon as I get to it, there it is. If I see one more scary guy, dark, evil, crazy man gimmick in independent wrestling, I'm going to lose my mind. From parts unknown, you look like you live at the buffet. My man was hilarious. That is social media gold. Garrett Sinclair has won social media gold for the week. No doubt about it. That was hilarious. So any wrestler that's out there that's putting out just hilarious shit, ripping people apart, I don't care. If I find it funny or Daven finds it funny and it makes its way to our show, that's what's going to happen. Look, Max Carnage laughing at this. That's great.
I mean, you got to blame The Undertaker. It all started with The Undertaker, right?
No. Okay, Undertaker was easily the most popular.
True.
But I mean, there was guys from parts unknown wearing masks, 70 years ago.
True.
So before the dead man was even born.
The spooky, it's what's in.
Dude, I dig the spooky. But I mean, I like a good horror movie. So
True.
Speaking of horror movies, I'm liking seeing certain wrestlers pick up and use certain things from horror movies. Samuel Shaw doing Dexter Loomis. So Dexter's a serial killer, and Loomis was Dr. Loomis from Michael Myers, Halloween lineage. So his name, I love it. I think that's cool shit. Then you got this girl out there in Georgia, or she's either in Georgia, Alabama, one of them two, named Trixie Kramer. John Kramer, Jigsaw. It's like, this is my level of shit right here. I'm in on this shit. She was interviewed by Scott Larson a while back. Fantastic interview. And she's a beast. She's got a wicked cutter. I don't know what she ended up naming it. I threw a couple of ideas at her. Hell, I think I gave her last name because she was just Trixie at one point.
Max again with the comments here. Too many Undertakers in this locker room. Not enough Shawn Michaels.
Well, I mean, hold on, but hey brother, there's one thing about this. There's one thing about that. Which era of Shawn Michaels are we talking about? Are we talking about before my man lost his smile? Or are we talking about after he came back from breaking his back? Which Shawn Michaels we talking about?
I grew up with New Age Shawn, the ladder match Shawn. And from there up is where I grew up with.
And I remember ladder match Shawn was WrestleMania 10. That was before he won the heavyweight, the WWF at the time championship. So that's the old era of Shawn Michaels. The new era of saved Shawn Michaels is different. When he came back, that was a whole different ball game. And I mean, we essentially got 2 careers out of Shawn Michaels, and that's what I've had to explain to people when people say, "Why is he in my greatest of all time list?" Because you had 2 different eras of him. You had 2 different versions of Shawn Michaels, and he was badass in both of them. So in my book, there's just certain guys you can't take out of that goat picture, and for me, Shawn Michaels is one of them. One interesting conversation I had with somebody a week or two ago was actually about Bret Hart. You can't say a foul word about Bret Hart near this guy, or he's going to punch you in the fucking teeth. That's all there is to it. That's what's going to happen.
Gotta be careful.
So I thought about it, and a couple of days later, I approached him. I said, "So I want to talk about the Bret Hart thing." He goes, "Don't say." I'm like, "No, just hear me out, and then you can go with what I'm saying." I said, "You as a fan have one appreciation for Bret Hart." I said, "Me as a fan, I have that same appreciation for Bret Hart." I said, "However, as somebody who's been in the locker room, heard seen and understand the business to a different degree, not saying I understand it greatly, saying that I understand business and this business." I said, "That's 2 different Bret Harts to me."
True.
As a fan, of course, you love the guy. As a business, as somebody who's been in this little bit different ballgame, you look at it through different eyes. We look at things through different light. There are days out there, man, where I'm not gonna lie to you, where I kind of miss that not knowing spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are days where you just appreciated it for what it was and you loved it for what it is. And it's, there's that. And then you've got the work side of it. Now, did we have other guests that were supposedly coming on tonight, or that's next week?
That's next week. Next week we got a stacked card next week.
We got a stacked card next week.
Yeah. Because you mentioned, man, we're busy this month. We got bookings after bookings, shows after shows. I mean, we haven't even touched some of the gamut here.
Yeah. And look at this. Professional wrestler here, Max Carnage, chimed in to say, I agree. Dude, right. It's what I'm saying, man. And hell, I've met Max one time in my life. I've met him once at one show. I introduced myself to him at the NAWA show, their Bunkhouse Stampede. And because I'd never met the dude, but I had heard about him and I had seen his work. I'm one of those people where I'm not really going to follow you unless I know you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to add you as a friend. I feel that shit's weird. But if you follow me or you see me or whatever and you know me, oh, cool, we're good. That's great. So I'm more of that type of person because I really do view the connections we use and make on social media to be used to further everything that we fucking do.
Agreed.
There's a lot of people out there on Twitter, man. If you're not taking advantage of some of the shit that happens on Twitter, including going and listening or talking to or getting a chance to have a conversation with Gabe Zapolsky, who's a current talent scout that's watching the indies for the WWE, you're out your fucking mind because the guy wants to know where you are.
I've been listening to him every time he does this little thing on Twitter, man. It is really, really good stuff. It is great quality. Like, that's free info he's giving out.
Max Card said, bring me on one day when available and we can talk more. Hey, man.
That's great,
You tell me. I mean, I think we're going to open up a little bit around mid-March. I think we've got stuff pretty stacked up until mid-March, but
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, like the next couple of weeks you have, well, you share it, man. We got AWL, we got PW, well, I don't know PW Savage, but still we got HVW, AWL, AML, American Lucha Wrestling, FCW. We're going in the gambit here. And then some of the special guests next week, you hear it from me right now, we'll be talking about some of the stuff coming up in March.
Yep.
Big.
Y'all already heard about it this coming Friday at Lenny Boy Brewing. You got XWW with a TV taping. Coming up the following weekend, if you're in the Georgia area, and this is the South and Western Georgia area, because I looked at this shit on the map and I was like, oh my God, this is a day's drive to and from.
Yep. Is that Sam?
But
that looks like Sam.
That's Fort Valley, Georgia. You have Kingdom Championship Wrestling. They are a Christian-based wrestling show, and that's going to be a good time there. That same day in the Carolinas, where I'm going to be, we've got Love, Hate, Tragedy coming up. That's February 26th, and that's going to be in Monroe, North Carolina. Tickets are only $10. I'm telling you what I know. You don't want to miss this show. A Sunday show starting at 5 p.m. This is going to be legit. Mm-hmm. You look at the poster, look at the talent on this poster, and you know I'm not full of it. You've got Effie, you've got Christopher Prince, you've got Thomas Extreme, Elijah Proctor, you've got Cam Jackson, Jordan Holt.
Cammy Jackson.
You can't go wrong with the list of talent that I just mentioned. That's not including everybody else that's on the show. Jackson Sane's going to be there. There's going to be a bunch of stuff going down at that show, which, the very next week, Welford, South Carolina, AWL. Check out the menu. You got pizza, quesadillas, popcorn, hot dogs, drinks. That's at the Welford Pavilion. And guess what, folks? The Welford Pavilion, gateway to the gold.
This is the one we've been talking about. This is the one that's been bringing up. This is the one that 9 men are going to battle for the AWL Heavyweight Championship. And it's going to be for the gold. And look, we keep changing. I keep changing every week, every time we talk about who's going to be the wild card here. But your number one pick is always going to be your good one. Your Brino Royce, your boy. I don't know. He has some work cut out for him. It might be Peter Bilt. It might be Jake Jacobs. It might be Kay Holiday. But you know what? Cam Jackson. I'm allowed to change my pick.
You're picking Cam Jackson. Hey, look, you're picking a guy who's a veteran in this business. You're picking a guy who's run the roads and has held titles everywhere I've ever seen him. He's held straps. So, you can't go wrong with that pick. I'm picking Brino Royce for 2 reasons. Number one, I don't know out of anybody else on this card if there's anybody as hungry as Brino Royce is today. I also am picking him for the unpredictability factor. Those are my 2 reasons for picking Brino Royce to win this. Unpredictable and hungry.
Okay. All right.
And I don't mean hungry as in not eating, because my boy eats very well. You got that kind of money, you go to the finest restaurants, drink the finest drinks, smoke the best cigars. And I'm telling you, I know he smokes the best cigars because I bring them. The Humidor Travels, baby. We got work to do.
Okay, nice. Very nice. Very nice. Look, it's going to be a hell of a matchup regardless. And we'll give our predictions even once we get closer to that. We'll even do a full breakdown for you. We'll give what utilities, what tools they got, who might be making it out here to the top. But I think Cam is going to be one of the ones that's going to make it to there.
Gotcha. Now, Gary Benfield just chimed in. The official event poster for the first show for the 6th will drop March the 1st. Fantastic, dude. I look forward to getting it.
Just make sure you send it to that man or this man. Is that what we can have another show?
Yeah. That's actually how we make sure we have the posters. We send them to each other, and both of us just kind of load it and then stack the dates in order. Yep. That's kind of how we make sure we get everything correct here.
And then we put it in the calendar.
Yeah. Oh, we put it in the calendar if we're booked. But yes, normally we're booked anyway.
If we are booked, that's part of the package deal. If we are booked, you're going to get talked about on this show in front of, I would say, over 1,000 people, more than that, 2,000, 3,000. How many say people watching right live? We got Roku, got social media presence. You give us a ballpark.
Me, right now, today, I would bank by the end of the show, we'll probably have 500 views across all the social platforms, not including Roku. I have no way to quantify what Roku TV can do. I have no way of predicting that one.
I'd just like to say we have the reach.
I do too, because Roku TV. That's badass. Thank you to our great friends over there at
Robbie
XWW.
Estacado, I made it. I'd like to thank all the little people for letting me step and move on. Thank you so
Right?
much.
Right?
You like me. You really, really like me.
Oh, Gary Benfield is tempting us here.
Oh, please, sir.
He said, "Do you want a match drop?" Do I want a match drop?
Do
I am all aboard having a match drop. I am all aboard
bring
with
the
that.
man on. Bring the man on. Send him the message.
I
What are you
will.
doing?
I got this.
What are you doing? You're dropping the ball here.
Me? I'm not dropping anything. There you go. If you want to drop something, there you go. There, your invite is sent. Your invite is sent. If you want to drop a match, you come on air and you drop a match live on air.
I feel the drum roll. I'm getting tingles. Are you getting tingles?
Knowing him, it's gonna be something out of this world. Cause this dude, what Gary don't know, and what a lot of people don't know is that I talk to everybody. I talk to absolutely everybody. I talk to anybody, especially about wrestling. I could talk to everybody about wrestling. I could be a preacher with a sermon in front of a church and talk about wrestling, and have a great congregation that way. That's how much wrestling I can talk about. So this cat right here, I know some of the people that are over there. I know some of the people that are getting talked about. I know some of the people that are getting bookings. I know some things. I don't know a lot of things. I know some things. But I don't know who he's going to say is going to be.
Ooh, I got
Oh, he's here.
He's here.
Mr. Benfield, how you doing, Viper?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you?
Doing good.
Sorry, my wife's asleep. I got to be kind of quiet.
You're good.
We got you.
I wasn't expecting you to send me an invite.
No, you can't be just saying you want a match drop and not have us send you an invite, Gary.
Hold on, I can't hear nothing. Hold on. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, loud and clear. Everybody in our socials and Roku can hear you.
Yeah, you're live on Roku TV right now.
Well, this is what I'm going to tell you real quick, and I'm going to get off this phone. Semi-main event. I'm not going to drop the main yet.
Respect it.
Semi-main events. The man you've been talking about all night. The Rolls Royce himself, Brino Royce, versus Marcus Erics.
Oh,
boom,
man. That is huge. Marcus Erics.
How you like that?
Trained at the Nightmare Factory.
I'm out.
Take it easy. Thank you, sir. Dude, Marcus Erics trained at the Nightmare Factory. He is a student of Cody Rhodes, a student of QT Marshall. This cat is in Southern California working his ass off. He's coming out here to the Carolinas working his ass off. That is huge.
That is awesome.
Marcus Erics and Brino Royce. Holy crap.
Pro South champ. Whew. That's going to be that's a match. That's a main event type of match right there. That's a semi-main. I can only imagine what the main event's going to be.
Good Lord. Oh, good God. Scott Larson chiming in. Marcus Erics for the win. You can't beat me. And then Max Carnage said, that's fire. You damn right that's fire, Carnage.
That's fire.
That's
you heard it here first on the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of stuff I look for. That's the kind of chisme I like to drink up. That was awesome.
Dude, let's go ahead and cover March, and then we're going to end up having to get out of here because we now if this is clickbait right there. That's gaslighting like a motherfucker. This man said, if that's the semi-main, just think what the main event is. Man, look, I have no clue. I have no clue what the main event could be, but if that's your semi-main, your main event's got to have something to go on because them two dudes are going to put on a clinic in that ring.
When's the show? May 6th?
Yeah. No. Yeah. May 6th? Is it May 6th? I think it's May 6th. Let me check. Man, look, why am I looking at the calendar when I can easily just go, haha.
Yeah, right there.
May 6th. Yep.
Show.
That's the Showdown Series live at Silverado's, May 6th, June 24th, July 26th, September 30th, October 20th, and October 21st. That is going to be all kinds of good stuff coming up for that one. But
that was delectable.
Man, coming up, he said that's just the first of 6. Yeah, man, there's 6 total shows coming out from High Velocity Wrestling there. Plus one more, I believe.
Funny enough, I was supposed to reach out to you, Gary, and I think I did reach out to you about doing commentary for the show. That's funny. Irony.
Well, I called Gary over the weekend. I'm going to have to call him again this weekend.
Well, we'll see. We'll have our people call your people there, Viper. See what we can work out. We'll work something out. I mean, you're already getting the exposure right now. So I mean, you clearly see what we're doing. So that's part of the package deal.
Oh, he knows. He knows. He's been here. He's been on the show before. He knows. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get me going.
Yeah,
that's what's funny.
That was dirty. He kind of reeled you in. He's like, "Oh, there it is."
Oh yeah, he said, "Look, that's what we call in the industry a hook. We call that a hook." And so, but coming up March, because we were just talking about March 4th at Welford, March 11th. Pro Wrestling Union presents Undisputed. Coming to Sims Middle School. You see the address in Union, South Carolina. That's going to be a badass show. Chase Emery versus Bebop is going to be an all-time classic.
And then
you've got Dion
Jackson, the Black Cat, who we just heard earlier tonight, upset that he didn't get a matchup. The disrespect this man had. Come on. How you do that to the soul? Come on. That's just not right.
Yep. The 4-time NWA Tag Team Champions will be defending their Pro Wrestling Union Tag Team titles against the Heart Killers, Chief Django and Chris Vallow. Dion Johnson, as you said, will be in action. Got Buggy Wright, Cam Jackson, Peterbilt, Luca Daniels, Randy Wayne. Man, there's a ton of stuff going down at this show, too. Coming up the following weekend after that, what do we got?
We got a beginning of a new change. Integrity Championship Entertainment making their inaugural show. You just heard it earlier tonight from the Indie King himself, JT, coming in, saying that it is going to be the reign of the Indie King as he starts off. This is the main event right here, 5-way elimination match between these 4 other competitors who are in their own right, hard hitters, champions. It's going to be a hell of a matchup. You don't want to miss that. That's going to be on the 18th in Jacksonville, North Carolina, on the East Coast there, on the coastal lines. 7 p.m., doors open at 6:30. You don't want to miss that. The one here, Wrestle War, FCW versus ALW. You got the movement on front. You got Nate Roberts and his brother on the front there. You have Yellow Man. You have Mickey Folk, J.R. Miller, Fodder, Mike Mars. It's going to be a mashup, a clash here.
Maverick.
I mean, that's not even the full card. I still haven't gotten the full card. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be pandemonium. You have to be there. This is the ALW show, first time in a new venue, clashing with FCW. So you don't want to miss out on that.
Yep. And coming up after that, the stakes are going to get raised, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to AWL High Stakes in Welford, South Carolina. Check that out. That's going to be Friday night show, April 14th. Doors open at 6:30. Show time is 7:30. Kids 12 and under are free.
Yep, it's going to be nothing but high rollers all night with those matches there.
Oh, I promise you. I'm going to smoke a great cigar after that show, because there's no finer place to smoke at an outdoor wrestling show after the show's over and enjoy yourself than the Welford Pavilion. Man.
Indeed.
Coming up in April, Pro Wrestling Union has already announced the Junior Heavyweight Championship Tournament. That's going to be at the Union County Rec Center. That is going to be another phenomenal show. as more details come about, we will have more to tell you.
Yep.
Same with
we'll be giving you the breakdown on that one. And same thing with Heroes to Legends. We only got 2 dates on that one, but once we get closer to those dates, we get more info, we will give you the breakdown and who's going to be there and what our predictions will be.
Well, about that.
Well, there you go. That was a nice segue. Very nice.
Yeah, man. So we've got Haas Haygood versus Alexander Koloff, and that is going to be for the H2L heavyweight title. You got the Blue Collar Outlaws versus Res Dogs. That's going to be another fantastic match. You can see some of the talent on this. You've got Chase Emery,
Stuart Snodgrass.
Snodgrass. Yeah. You got Brittany Jade. You got the Loaded Gun Ken Magnum. You've got Cooper the House Housley. Myrick Moore.
He's a stacked house.
Oh, dude. It's going to be something else. And that is pretty much everything we've got other than the overall posters covering everybody. We've already talked about High Velocity Wrestling. We've mentioned Pro Wrestling Union. We've talked about AWL and CPW. And the only additional one we have to mention here is the June 23rd David Cody Memorial, or the June 3rd, 2023 David Cody Memorial. That is going to be badass. I cannot wait. Man, it's finally getting to be nice weather.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's going to be crazy. We're finally getting into more wrestling shows running. Oh, check this out. In August, there's an additional show coming from High Velocity Wrestling. It's an all-women show at the Social in Asheville, North Carolina. Nice. Holy shit.
And then I think next week we're going to be talking about one of the shows coming up at the end of the month. If you don't mind me taking over quickly.
That is you.
Un momento. Pow. America Lucha Wrestling presents Luchaversary. I've been to the past 2. It has been a crazy matchup. And look, we have Franco Varga versus AJ Kazana. ALW Championship being defended here. Kent Wolf defending against J.R. Miller. And the Zenith going for the tag team champions. And Caitlin Marie defending her title against Kylie Alexa. So it's going to be one hell of a match. You know the Zenith is going to do some shenanigans here. But that's going to be on Luchaversary at the end of the month on the 25th. And then they're going to have their follow-up show, FCW versus ALW. It's going to be crazy.
Yes, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's how TV works. In case you didn't know, what happens is you get blocks. And you get this time slot, and that's what you're allotted. And guess what? We have burned up just at 90 minutes of our time slot. So we want to take our last few seconds here on air to thank each and every one of you for attending the show. Thank you for contributing. If you chatted in, if you didn't chat in, know that you can.
You can.
If you're watching us on Roku, that's great. You can still hop on your smartphone and send what you want to send, say what you want to say to us, and we'll put it right here on air.
Live. You can do it on our Facebook. You can do it on our Twitch channel. You can do it on our Twitter now. So pretty soon we'll have it on our Tickety Talk as well. So chime in and you can be live on air with your comments. We'll put it on there. And if there's any funny comments, hell, we'll put those on there too. Anything funny, anything pertaining to the conversation. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in.
Yep. Thank you all. And listen, Sunday, 4 p.m., going to be going back over what happens this weekend at the Elimination Chamber as the Wrestling Wire emanates live right here on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Roku TV. So I'll be your host on that day. Daven has prior commitments. And you know what, guys? Thank y'all once again for being here. We'll see you at the Indies.
Deuces.